Hi y'all, welcome to my channel, and on today's video I am going to show you our third grade curriculum picks for the 2023-2024 homeschool year, so stay tuned. Okay, so if you are new, welcome to my channel, Pursuing Peace. My name is Dina and I am a homeschooling mama of 5 kiddos, 9 and under. And on this channel, I share my passions for Christ, for homeschooling, and for encouraging mamas in their faith and in this amazing season of motherhood. So if you'd like to join me on this journey, then click the subscribe button down below. And don't forget to click the little bell icon right next to it so you know whenever new videos pop up. You can also follow me over on Instagram at Dina_Pursuing Peace if you'd like to get an inside glimpse on what goes on around here on a daily basis. All right, you guys, well, it's that time of the year again. Everybody is looking for curriculum for the following school year, and it's always so weird to say the next school year, right? So the 2023-2024 homeschool year is coming up, and I am showing you the insides of my third graders curriculum. Now, I want to preface this by saying we have not even finished last year's curriculum, but I just picked a date that we were going to end the school year, and at the end of that day, whenever he finished his work for the day, you know, I was like, yay, you know, now you're officially a third grader, and it was just so exciting, and everybody cheered for them, and I did that for each individual kids, and they just loved it. It was something easy. I didn't have to prep for it, and it was something that they loved, and then we went out and we had ice cream afterwards and stuff like that. And so it was just a fun last day of school, but I want to encourage you guys, if you did not finish your books from last year, don't worry about it. Grades are very fluid in the homeschool community, so you are fine. You can move your child up to the next grade level without having to actually finish that level book or whatever. Don't worry if that's something that you have to do. It's something that we had to do with each of the kids this year. All right, with that being said, we have probably about 20 more lessons in our language arts book for level 2. So as soon as he finishes that, we'll just start that. We are going to try to work a little bit over the summer, but I want to keep it very minimal because I don't want to have like a full school day, just maybe one subject a day or something like that. So that way they have a lot of time to play outside, a lot of time to do extra stuff. We have all the VBSs going on in town. And we're taking piano lessons and horseback riding lessons and swimming lessons, and so there's just a whole lot going on outside of schoolwork. All of that stuff is still educational and wonderful, but it's all outside of our book work, and so I don't want to bog down the summer by trying to catch up. I think the kids are going to be fine if we just start the next year right where we left off. So probably the first few months are going to be our old curriculum, not our old curriculum, I should say that differently, our, you know, just the last curriculum, the last books that we were working on, their previous grade levels, and then we're gonna move into their new grade levels. So, but I want to show you inside these books because some of them are brand new. I just got mine in today, and the book that I am excited to show you is the new level 3, From the Good and the Beautiful. And so I'm excited to show you the inside of this. Like I said, I just got it today, so I haven't even had a chance to really look through it. I did a little bit so that way I kind of knew what I was going to tell you guys. But I want to flip through that for you guys, show you all the different components with the spelling book and all of the different readers that come with it. Now, I am planning to come out with curriculum videos for my preschooler, my kindergartner, my first grade, and my fourth grader. They're not going to be in any sort of order because just depending on what curriculum I already have to show you and all of this stuff. Now this I wanted to show you right away because it was brand new, so I decided to go ahead and do my third grader first. But I wanted to let you guys know that those videos are coming up, so if you have not subscribed, go ahead and click that subscribe button right now, and don't forget the little notification button, because if you don't click the little bell notification button, then you might not get notified when all of the new videos pop up. I'm I'm also planning to do family subjects, and I'm also planning to do a homeschool room tour and a few homeschool hauls as I'm getting stuff in. And a lot of you requested that I do our favorite subscription boxes video, so I'm definitely going to do that too. So it's all planned out already in my calendar, so I'm hoping to do this. I'm hoping to give you a video every week over the summer, because I know that this is a time that you need the most help in planning for your next school year. So go ahead and click that subscribe button if you haven't. So without any further ado, I'm going to flip the camera around. I'm going to show you what we've got. Okay, the first thing that I want to share with you guys is our handwriting. He is going into level 3 from the good and the beautiful, and level 3 is where they start to learn cursive. And I really do love the way the good and the beautiful teaches cursive. The way that they do it is they do it by the colors of the rainbow up here. So you can see the different colors of the rainbow. So they start at red, they come down orange, where's yellow, they go up to yellow, green, and they do the same thing. So you follow the colors of the rainbow, and it kind of creates muscle memory so that your child knows how to form these letters. We've loved the good and the beautiful handwriting, and I'm just doing kind of a quick flip through, showing you what it looks like. Every lesson has obviously handwriting, and then kind of a little activity for them to do. And this is by far their favorite handwriting, and they can do this on their own. I do not need to do this with them. Every once in a while there will be kind of an assessment here. I'll go through and I'll check which letters they need a little bit extra practice on, and I write it in here, and then they copy it however many times they can right here, and then they get to do their maze. So yeah, this is just a wonderful, wonderful curriculum. As far as handwriting goes, we've tried different ones, and this one is our favorite. Oh, look at that. Oh my goodness. That is just so much fun. So yes, so we are doing this handwriting for my 3rd grader. And then the next thing is going to be the language arts book. So I love this. It covers so many different language arts topics: phonics, writing, reading, grammar and punctuation, spelling, literature, geography, and art. So you don't have to get different curriculums for each of these different subjects. You just have it all in one, and I think they do a pretty good job of covering all of those different things. Now, sometimes you do need something extra, like to supplement, right? So geography, we do it with CC, but it's a little bit different in here. So I'm gonna go ahead and open this up and flip through this with you guys. So let's see here. So this is the 4th edition, language arts. Here we have items needed, and what you're gonna really need is basically what I'm going to show you today. Letter Tiles app and the Homeschool app from the Good and the Beautiful. Here are the icons for that. And I'll link those down below. Those are super cool, and you're gonna use them a lot in this book. So I'll link them down below, and you can get them for free right now, even before you have the curriculum in hand. Always have items on hand, and these are like stuff that you would have anyway, like crayons, markers, pencils, scissors, normal stuff, you know. And then here are optional items. These are items that you probably would have to order specifically for this, and I like that they give it to you all up front here. They also have reminders in the book when you're getting close to that lesson, which I really love, and I think that was just absolute genius and so helpful. Here we've just kind of got an about this course, what the course covers, preparation, how to complete the course, principles behind this course. Now guys, I didn't mention this earlier, but this is free online. Okay, so if you want to go and you want to check it out, and you even want to do a couple of lessons before you buy this, or you could just print the whole thing out and use it that way, it is completely free on the Good and the Beautiful's website. I will link it down below. It is a good sized book. So there are a good amount of pages in here. So I would kind of just check that, see what you want to do versus if you have a really good printer, then you can print it at home and you can bind it at home, and that'll be a free curriculum. You don't have to pay for it. But if you want it to be sent to you like this, already bound and already printed out, then I don't know, it might be It might be cheaper to do it this way. I don't know, but this you can already see online. And here it just tells you a little bit more about the course. It does have an answer key. I did not get that, but you can get it online. I might end up ordering it just so I have it on hand, but I think I'm still okay. I don't know. I don't know if I'm smarter than a third grader at this point, so we'll see what happens. But here's the teacher read aloud, and this is a lot more reading intensive than even just the last level 3 that they had, because I just went through their old level 3 with my my oldest, and it didn't have this much reading, but I'll go through and I'll show you in the lessons where it tells you to do that. So table of contents, at a glance, you can see all of the different things that they have. So here's all the writing and literature and all of that they're going to use. Here's all the geography concepts that they use. Now, like I said before, we do geography with CC, but that is just telling you where things are on a map. Here, I like it because it tells you where things are on a map, which is fine, but it also goes into like culture and geography terms like elevation, flora, humidity, how to read a legend, how to read a map, how to create a map, you know, and all of those geography things that we don't really cover in the CC memory work. So I think it pairs really well with CC. Phonics principles and all of that fun jazz that you would expect from a language arts curriculum. Here we've got spelling, scope, and sequence, and they're doing spelling a little bit differently in this level than they have been doing in the other levels, and I'm going to show you that spelling book that they have here, the credits for all of the paintings. And then now over here we've got Unit 1 overview, and I'm going to tell you the first thing I noticed was that they separated it by color. Y'all, I am all about separating it by color. Visually, I could just see it so much better, and it just helps. Oh, it helps me as a teacher because you're doing so much. You're just, especially if you have multiple kids and you're trying to teach and you just have so much going on in your brain that it helps when you can find information quickly, and I love that they do that. All right, so here is the very first lesson. I love that they do these full page paintings. Here is a teacher's tip down below. They have these throughout the course. Here it says you might need to help the child with the first few independent work sections until the child gets used to doing them independently. And then it's got another teacher tip up here. So the first thing that they're going to do, you are going to complete chapter 1 with the child in Timothy of the 10th floor. So let me show you what that looks like. So here is Timothy of the 10th floor. And the way that these books work, I'm going to pull this over so you can see it a little bit better. There's 4 of these. And here it's got an introduction that you read to the child. It's got the characters down at the bottom. Here is the table of contents, not context. Here we've got challenging word lists, vocabulary words that are going to be used throughout the course or throughout the reading, practice page principles for level 3. And then here is what's a little bit different because we don't have the booster cards or the booster books like we do in kindergarten, 1st and 2nd grade. Here we've got these, and they're going to do like practice pages before each chapter. So here's a practice page, and you do this with the child. So you're going to do this with the child, kind of go over vocabulary words and all of these phonograms, and then you're going to read with the child. So the student, here it says student, and the student will read, and then you read that section. And the student will read this section, and so on and so on. And so this is, let's see, that is right here. This is where the end of chapter 1 finishes. And then it's just like that through the whole course. You have a practice page, and then you read the chapter. Practice page, and then you read the chapter. And so it's neat. I really do enjoy reading with the child, with my boy. I really do enjoy reading with him and reading with all my kids, honestly. So this is going to be a little bit more reading intensive because that's going to take longer than what we do now. But this is what it says up here in this teacher tip. It says the phonics read together books make up the bulk of the parent-teacher led time for each lesson. So here is the lesson, you guys, right here, boom. Not only that, but they have a video for the lesson that you can use instead of actually teaching. So you have a video option here, and then it says for the child to do the lesson practice on their own. And then they do independent practice over here, which is just reading comprehension. They read this story about this artist and answer the questions. And then they have a reading and art video. And then they have this little creative writing section. My boy, honestly, has so much trouble with this. They had these in level 2 also. And so I don't know if I'm gonna make him do this, because towards the end of it, I didn't make him do it. Because I needed to help him so much with it. You'll see with my 4th grade curriculum video, we're actually gonna use another curriculum for writing. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna do this or not. So we'll see. So yeah, so this is lesson 2. We'll do one more lesson just to give you an idea. So here it says read chapter 2 and then complete the lesson. So here's the lesson right here. And the lesson practice is all right here. And then here's the independent practice. And this he's used to seeing the homophones. I like that they kept that layout because he recognizes that and he knows what to do with that. And then here, oh yeah, here is editing a sentence. And guys, I used to have them skip this because we do use Fix-It Grammar, but also like they used to have paragraphs to edit, and that was hard for my kids to do, to see where one sentence ended and where another one began. They didn't know how to do that. So I love that they separated it into individual sentences. That's going to be so much easier for them to see what to correct and how to mark it up. So I'm really excited about that. I think he's really going to like that one. And then here's another little journal page and everything like that. So yeah, guys, that's basically how the lessons go. A lot of times they will have a video in here in place of you instructing. And I know that my boy, for some reason, sometimes I just can't, I can't explain it well enough. And so these video lessons, every time there is a video, every time there has been a video from The Good and the Beautiful, they just seem to explain it in a way that my boy just understands it and he gets it. And so I think I'm going to be utilizing these a lot, which is great. Sometimes you do watch it with the child, and sometimes you don't. So yeah, here's another geography, the continents, which, I mean, they've done the continents before, so I'm not really sure what that one is. But now I'm just gonna kind of flip through this so you can see, here's an art.
I remember that one.
You remember that one? So yes, here is another art lesson, which a lot of the art lessons, they kind of instruct on the homeschool app. Cool, watermelons. Here's another example of writing. Poetry, they do a lot of poetry memorization, which is good. It's good for kids to memorize. Here's another geography. Guys, this is gonna be so fun. I am really excited about this. Let's see if I can find, here we go. It'll prompt you to use the spelling book. So let's see what lesson, this is from lesson 89. Let's look at the spelling book here, and let's go to lesson 89. Now the spelling is not in each lesson, it's like on every other lesson. So, but it'll tell you which lesson to use the book. So here, like this is, you're gonna dictate the spelling words to the child, and, oh, stay. So you're gonna dictate these, he's gonna spell them, and then here you're gonna dictate these also, and he is going to spell them here too. So there's a lot of different things. Let me go ahead and show you the inside of this book. Something that's really cool, so it's got like scope and sequence and stuff, but something that's really cool in here, it's got spelling practice ideas, which we've seen that before for auditory, visual, and kinesthetic learners. Here's a scope and sequence for Unit 1. So here's the first time. Lesson 2 is when you're going to use the spelling book first. But something that's really cool is it's got a riddle on each of these lessons. So when is a piece of wood a king? Now the child is not allowed to turn the page until he's done with this. So then it's kind of a little incentive. It's like, okay, let's get this done so I can figure out what the answer is. And the answer is when it's made into a ruler. Oh, I just thought that was so fun. And then here's some other just spelling practice for them to do. I love that they use sign language in this. So yeah, so there's a bunch of these front and back. I don't know if you've seen my homeschool update video. You know, we started doing spelling a little bit differently. I am going to give this a shot and see how this works, because I know that the Good and the Beautiful has been trying to improve their spelling, and spelling is just a hard one, guys. It's a hard one. And they're trying to make it more fun and enjoyable for the kids. And their approach to spelling is just a little bit different. It's a little bit more phonics based, as opposed to just remembering what a word sounds like. Sometimes they do tell you, sometimes you just need to remember what a word is spelled like enough, you know, because you can't phonetically sound that out. So they do mention that. So there's this component. We've gone through this one here. Now, I just kind of want to flip through these for you real quick. These are just the readers. The Kingdom of Kind, they've put it in book form. It used to be within the curriculum, but now they put it in book form, which is really cool and really neat. They've added more characters and more story and plot line. My third grader who just went through this third grade curriculum, their old third grade curriculum, saw this book and she immediately wanted to pick it up and read it. So it's really neat because now I get to read it to my other kids too. So they have that book. They have Heather and the Highland Pony, and these all look like they're kind of the same. They have the practice page in the front of the chapter. You do the practice page and then you read the chapter with the child. And then you also have the Journey of 5. Again, these look like they're all kind of the same layout. The pictures are so cute. Oh, that's nice. Oh, that talk was big. Oh, so yeah. Oh, this is so cool. This is so cool. So you get, whenever you get this, you'll get the language arts, the spelling, and okay, and there's the other book. So you get all of this. You can opt to get the answer key printed out for you too if you want to, or you can just have it downloaded onto your phone or something like that. So that is our language arts. Okay guys, so you remember when I said at the beginning of this video that you do not have to be on the same grade level in your textbook as your student is? Well, this is a perfect example. So we are using Math with Confidence this year, and we are using the second grade because we had to go back and kind of switch. We were using the Good and the Beautiful math for my boy, but I noticed that he needed something else. And one of the beauties of homeschooling is that we can adjust our curriculum when needed. And so I ordered Math with Confidence, which comes with the instructor guide and the student workbook. And I'll show you the student workbook in a little bit, but let me show you inside this Math with Confidence first. Now this is by Kate Snow, and it's printed by Well Trained Mind Press. Here are the table of contents. Welcome. There is a lot of reading. Now if you look at this, guys, okay, remember how I said I love color and the good and the beautiful, and I like visually seeing things kind of separated? This is not that. And I'm going to be completely honest. I had, and I still continue to have, I'm getting a little bit better, but I had such a hard time with this. Just reading this. Like, it took me a couple of days to just read like the very beginning of it and wrap my head around it, because I don't know what's my brain has always been like that, and I'm not really sure how to not be like that. So anyway, the way that it's broken out is not like lesson 1, 2, 3, 4. It's like week 1 and then lesson 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, 1.5, and then lesson 2, and then week 2, lesson 2.1, 2.3. It was just, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense in my head. Okay, I'm going to rephrase that. It does make sense. And I don't want to bash this curriculum at all. Obviously, I'm still using it. But in my head, it just took me a while to wrap my head around it. So like this is lesson 1 for week 1, lesson 2 for week 1, lesson 3. So I'm going to show you kind of where we're at right now, and I'm going to show you how I started organizing this and putting it together. So we are on week 7, which means we've done a good amount of lessons. That's the other thing. I don't know how many lessons we've actually done. I guess I'd have to go through and multiply 5 by 7, so like 40. I don't know. Guys, oh, don't judge me. All right, so I would go through, and so this is so much more intense planning for me. It takes me about an hour to plan this every week, and I don't know, and I'm not saying you have to, because I think it's meant to be open and go, but I can't, like my brain is I don't know. I'm not sure. I needed more understanding of what we were doing throughout the week, so I had everything in hand, and I had everything, I don't know. But you can see here where I went through and I at least highlighted. So every week at the beginning of the week, I'll go through and highlight the things that I want to say, the things that I think that maybe he already knows, and things that I think we can skip. But I go through it first and I go and I highlight all of the different sections, so I at least know, okay, this is a section, this is a section, this is a section. And they are bolded, but I needed something a little bit more. And like here, I'll go through and I'll say, okay, and I'll circle here, okay, I want to do this activity, I want to do this activity. This one, I don't think we need to do. Like I do want to do this, I do want to do this. So I'll go through and I'll plan that out. What I've also started doing is I just grabbed a normal notebook that we had on file. I just grabbed a normal notebook that we had already, and I would go through and I'd put, okay, lesson 4.4, and this is the warm-up. That way I don't have to write it down at that moment, just because like I just at some point maybe I'll get to the point where I can just do it, but like during the lesson, and I don't have to prep for it. I'm praying that I get to that point, but I needed to just do it, so I could just open this up and be like, what is this? What is this? And then we're done, you know? And then here's another example. So here's, I think this is the first one that I did. So the warm-up is having him do this. So then I answered that. And then it has you write down all of this. So this is not in the book. I mean, it is, but it's not there for him to answer. Like in The Good and the Beautiful, if they want you to answer something that's already written in there and he just has to answer it, they have you write it out. So I went through and I wrote it all out so that way he can have it. And then I wrote a reminder to myself. And so a lot of it is me just, here is like, they had me write out different prices and then put it up against different things, you know, like this object costs 19 cents. This object costs 25 cents. So I wrote that out like this. That way, when we got to the lesson, I just had to tear it out and I just put it on whatever, like a pencil or scissors or something that we had right there where we were sitting. See here, they have you write it out and then they have you slowly remove it. So like 34 is less than 99. So just the top there. So they have you slowly do that. But if I didn't have this written down, I'd have to write it on the whiteboard, which is fine, guys. Like please hear me when I say this. I'm not trying to bash this. It's just that this is all me. This is all my own like learning curve for this curriculum. Here's another one. Here's an example too, and this is another reason why I like doing this ahead of time, is that they had you make like a number machine. Sorry, this is off. So, and had I not done this ahead of time, I think I would have been stressed out. But they had you do this, and I cut these out, and I did this, and then they have him go through and make it look like a machine. He really loved this. So it's worth it. It's worth it is what I'm trying to say. Like, I have to learn how to do this, but when we are doing lessons, I am enjoying it and he is enjoying it. So it's okay. So I do this so that way we can enjoy it. You don't have to. If you are okay with having this and doing it open and go, and you are able to do it on the fly, then good for you, mama. Like, really so good. But if you're a little bit more like me, then maybe prepping ahead of time and having an extra notebook and already writing the stuff out, I don't know, might help. So there's that. And then I marked where the memory work is. They have memory work for each week. And then I marked over here extra board games. I actually have not used that but I thought it would be useful. But anyway, so yeah, so that's how each lesson goes, and it's really, we are really enjoying it. He calls it his swan math, and he really does love math. Whenever I pull it out, he's like, yes, math. So it's been really good, you guys. Here is the student workbook, and here is the lesson that he's on. So this, guys, like, this is brilliant. Like, like, look at this. Oh, I just love it. I wish that the textbook or the instructor, you know, the instructor's guide that's made for adults was a little bit more like this, a children's workbook. I know how that sounds. I know how that sounds. Oh my goodness. But like, I really do wish it was a little bit more colored. I understand I'd probably have to pay more for it and just different things like that. But oh, it would definitely make me a little bit more comfortable and just a little bit more happy. Oh, this is so cool. And sometimes they do have game boards in here. They have game boards, and that's part of your lesson, that you play this game, and then your child will do this for their independent practice. So a child usually does one whole page each lesson, front and back. The back is the review, and the front is the lesson practice. So yeah, so that's how this works. Look at this. This is so neat. And I think this works so well for him. There's not a lot of words. Sometimes, like, it just says, look, match. Like, that is exactly what Solomon needs. Just match them up. That's all you need to know. You don't need to know anything extra. And I think that's kind of like how my brain works too, a little bit. Just give me what I need. Give me what I need to know, y'all. All right, so that is the student notebook or workbook. Now there's a few different components that also come with this that you have to print out. So here are just different Blackline master workbooks. You get a PDF of this. This stuff is also in the back of the instructor's guide. So if you want to just photocopy it, but I printed it out from the PDF so I don't have this like black line, you know, when you photocopy. But you use these different times. Here are the 10 frame, and their 10 frames are different than what we were using in the Good and the Beautiful, but it works. He caught on pretty quickly. Here's our part whole map mat. Here's our number line, which he actually really loves. Another black master. Some of these we have not gotten to. But I also use this for multiplication. This page is separate right here. And this all comes with it. You just cut it out. You print it out on cardstock, it tells you, and then you just cut it out. So this is like for multiplication. So 1 times 3 is 1, 2, 3. You know, 4 times 6 is all of those, you know. 36? No, that's not right. What's 4 times 6? 24. 24. I got it. All right, so yeah, so you just print those out, and I didn't have a binder or anything at the time, so I just did this, and it actually works well because it fits into our drawer, our desk drawer, really nicely. It's just in page protectors, and then I put it on a ring like this. I have a bunch of these, and that's what we use for that. Now, it does tell you in the front of this book that there are different items that you need to get. So like different manipulatives. And I was actually pretty excited about those because some of those we didn't have on hand. So I'm going to show you the different manipulatives now. So the first one is these counters. And I'll link all of this stuff down below, or at least the stuff for the math. These counters here, I got them on Amazon. And I actually love these. These are like my favorite part of the school day. The whole school day, y'all. Is playing with these counters. We use them for his math, and then we also do multiplication facts that stick with my third grader, my oldest, and we use these a lot, and these are perfect. They are small in diameter. These are the smallest ones that I saw, and they work really well with all of the board games that are printed out in the curriculum. So we went through, this is a organizer case from the Dollar Tree, and I just had this on hand, and I had my girl go and sort all of the different things, and it was perfect. And then we also have beans in here. We use those as counters sometimes. And then we have like erasers that are numbers and math stuff. We don't use that necessarily. Like this stuff up here is more for my older child, and then this is kind of what we use for my second grader. So we've got counters, and then we have 2 decks of playing cards, just 2 decks of cards, and I'll link those down below. If you have 2 decks of cards, that's fine. You just need to take out the face cards, so the Jack, King, and Queen, and the Ace counts as 1. And you just do this every once in a while. They'll have you play a game where you have to take out all the 10s and the 2s and the 4s or something like that. So you have to go through and do that, but that's not a big deal. And we've really liked playing with these game cards. The next thing that we have here are base 10 blocks. So we have never owned a set of these. And so I was excited. I was like, okay, we can do this. So the Good and the Beautiful, the way they do it is they don't actually have these for you. It's all drawn. It's all drawn like this, which is okay, and it works. And it has worked for all of my kids, but I thought it'd be fun to just go ahead and invest in some of these. So we've got, I ended up ordering this kind. You don't have to order this whole thing, but I just, I don't know. I like a lot of things, so I'm a little bit extra. So we've got 100 of these unit blocks or 1 blocks. We've got 10 of these 10 sticks or rods, using different curriculum terms. We've got, I think 10 of these, right? Yep, yeah. 10
for each line right here.
Okay, and then 10, so that way you can make 100, which has this
is just a
100 block,
real
right?
Big cube.
Do you like these? Yes. Okay. Thank you. Oh, I did have to make sure when we first got these that they did not lose all of the pieces because they immediately wanted to play. But this one has extra stuff in it. It's got a couple of dice in here. It's got a dry erase marker. It's got these cards that have different games. And it has this mat here, which you can just print out and use the mat that they have already over there. But whenever they ask us to use something, we use that. And I do love this one, sorry. I do like this one because you can, if you're only using 10s, you can put it like that. If you're only using, it's got thousands too. It's got hundreds and thousands. If you're only using 10s and 1s, you can just have it like this. If you're using all of them, you can have it like this. And then the blocks fit on here nicely, and it erases nicely, and all of that. So it's really neat. I really do like having this. Oh, there's like a whole mess of it. Okay, so it's got thousands. What's on the other side? Oh, it's the same thing on the other side. Okay, so it goes up to 1,000. Baby girl, I'm gonna put this away. So I'm gonna go ahead and give this to my girl because she obviously wants to play with it. So here, you can take this and you can play with it while I finish my video. And Abby's still reading Timothy and the 10th floor. Is it good? Good. Okay, and one more thing that I wanted to show you. I actually bought these on a whim. I saw them and I was like, oh, this will be kind of fun. They don't ask you to buy it. They do ask you to get maybe like cubes. I don't know. I don't remember. Maybe they do ask you to get cubes. But these are magnetic cubes. So this was really cool. So they can go, and we've used these for learning about rows and columns and multiplication. And my boy is really into Rubik's Cubes right now. And so when he saw this, he was like, oh my goodness, it looks like a Rubik's Cube. So it's really like, look at this. This is so neat. There's a lot of them in here. They weren't very expensive. And I just love, they're a really good read aloud toy too. Like they can go and they can play with these. They do kind of jingle a little bit, so sometimes they're a little bit too loud, but we really do like these. My girls love to play with these. I actually had to, again, snatch them away. Aw, thank you, baby. I had to snatch them away from my girl and not let her take them to my room, or to her room, so that way I can film this for you guys. But I will leave these linked down below. It comes with this little bag, which is really cool. I just keep these all together with my 10 blocks, and I put these in our desks. So look, I will show you. So we put them in the drawers right here, and they fit really nicely. Not this, sorry, but this stuff fits, this and the box, the big box of 10 blocks. I have to put somewhere else. But these fit really nicely along with these books, with my instructor's guide. Where is it at? Right here, and all of that. So yeah, guys, so that is our curriculum. All right, you guys, well, that was it. That was our curriculum for specifically for our third grader. And I hope this was helpful for you guys. And like you saw, don't worry if your third grader is in a different level. Maybe they're ahead, maybe they're still in level 2 or even level 1. That is okay for any curriculum. That is okay, because that is exactly where your child needs to be at this very moment. Okay, mama, so I want to encourage you that you are not failing. Your child is not behind. That's just where God has them right now, and that's okay. And that's okay. And you can spend this time with them and nurture their learning and character building and all of that stuff, all of the beauties that come with homeschooling. So all right, guys, well, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe, and let's be friends. Follow me over on Instagram at Dina_pursuing peace. All right, you guys, well, I hope you're having a blessed day, and I will see you next time. Bye.